The Arrowverse started with one man and a dream. After 5 years, former Playboy Oliver Queen returned home with a goal of cleaning up the corruption of his city. In the process, he became a superhero. Soon, others joined his cause, and many of them had actual superpowers. Welcome back to The Binger. 7 years and 3 spin-offs later, the Arrowverse is teeming with superheroes of all kinds. And they aren't just their show's headliners. Now, between Arrow, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Supergirl, even some of the most unexpected people have powers. Meanwhile, others have come by their superhero status through magic, alien DNA, or just really good fight training. No matter how they got there, the heroes of the Arrowverse are a powerful bunch. With so many different strengths and powers though, each hero isn't equally formidable. In this video, we're looking at which Arrowverse heroes are the most imposing by ranking them from powerful to invincible. Our first hero is also the newest to enter the Arrowverse, Nia Nal. A budding journalist at Catco, Nia's true powers as Dreamer have slowly been revealed to both her and fans. At first, she was in denial about the powers she was inheriting due to her alien ancestry. Eventually, Nia embraced them and started to fight alongside Supergirl as Dreamer. Nia is TV's first transgender superhero, but that's not the only thing that makes her special. Like Supergirl, she has a strong sense of justice and is willing to stand up to fight for what's right. As she continues to learn what she's capable of and hone her powers, she'll no doubt become stronger and stronger. She hasn't reached her full potential quite yet though. Nora West Allen is the future child of Barry Allen and Iris West. She came back in time to meet her father, who disappeared when she was little. Soon after she introduced herself to her parents, she became a full-fledged member of Team Flash. Nora inherited her super speed from her father and shares his abilities, but for most of her life, Nora's speedster powers were repressed. So when she came to the past, she had only started to use them. That's why she often needs a lot of coaching and encouragement on missions and sometimes becomes easily overwhelmed. Plus, she's been running back to the future to work with her father's sworn enemy, Erebor Thawne. While it's possible that Thawne's intentions are honorable, Nora is still naive and uninformed as a hero. She could be just as powerful and impressive as her father one day, but right now she still requires guidance and training. RENE became a vigilante even before he became a part of Team Arrow. He believed in the difference Green Arrow made in the world and wanted to use his skill he'd honed as a Navy SEAL to join the fight. Once he was an official member of the team, he became the hero Wild Dog. Unfortunately, a superhero alias couldn't stop the tension between Team Arrow's old guard and its new recruits. While RENE has always been brash and stubborn, he's matured from his experiences as a vigilante, and he's improved as a superhero as a result. He's also still fully committed to a mission to save Star City and willing to do whatever it takes to make that happen. When MICK RORY was first introduced, he was a nemesis of the Flash. Despite those beginnings, he became a legend of tomorrow and was soon traveling from time to time and place to place on the Wave Rider. Beneath his gruff exterior, MICK has slowly become a loyal member of the Legends. While he lacks superpowers, he is an excellent brawler when he needs to be, and he's used his heat gun to burn quite a few baddies. On this season of Legends, MICK's revealed he wields another power too, the power of creativity. It turns out that MICK is a writer, a talent that saved Tokyo when one of his characters he created, the swordswoman Garima, was brought to life. Nate Heywood joined Legends of Tomorrow as a historian. After he was given the power to turn his body to steel, he started to accompany the team into battle. However, Nate is a scholar at heart, so it was no surprise when he decided to take some time off the Wave Rider to work at the Time Bureau. Nate's pretty much indestructible when he turns himself into steel, but he's never grown comfortable with his abilities and tends to refrain from using them. He's also never learned any real combat skills, so he's probably more valuable using his brain than his steely brawn. Dinah Drake picked up the mantle of Black Canary after Laurel Lance perished. Unlike Laurel, she came by her canary cry naturally. Her metahuman sonic scream was a force to be reckoned with and was more than a little useful in combat. Since being attacked and having her throat cut though, Dinah's lost her meta ability. Still, as the captain of the Star City Police and a trained vigilante, she's a skilled fighter. However, she no longer has access to the most effective tool in her arsenal. Ray Palmer is a tech whiz and a billionaire that created his own exosuit. That turned him into the superhero, the Atom, but Ray's got other skills to make him more valuable to the Legends of Tomorrow. Not only is he constantly putting his genius toward improving the team's gadgets, but he's also equipped with a genuinely good heart. Ray's ability to see the positive in anyone is a welcome counterpart to the cynicism of many of his colleagues. And while he could easily end enemies with a laser blast from his suit, he'd rather ask questions first and shoot later. John Diggle has risen from his humble beginnings on Arrows as Oliver's bodyguard to become one of the most valuable members of the team. As a former soldier, Diggle has an impressive set of combat skills, and as part of Argus, he honed his tactical and espionage skills as well. The combination gives him plenty to offer Team Arrow. Yet, unlike Oliver himself, Diggle doesn't possess any superpowers, putting him at something of a disadvantage against the metas the team faces. Still, Diggle is driven by a desire to make the world a better place, a goal that gives him the strength to fight on no matter what. And the events of last year's big Arrowverse crossover indicated that he may yet become superpowered in the future. So far, we haven't seen a whole lot of KANE or her alter ego, Batwoman. She was introduced during the Arrowverse crossover event, Elseworlds, but if things go as planned, we'll be seeing a lot more of her on her own self-titled series. That show isn't officially greenlit yet, but the idea of bringing Gotham into the Arrowverse on a weekly basis is tantalizing. In her brief team-up with The Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl, Batwoman more than held her own. She's clearly already a full-fledged hero, who's been operating for quite some time. Although she has no superpowers like her cousin Bruce Wayne, she has the power of money on her side. She uses her considerable wealth to improve her odds against those who would do Gotham harm. When Sarah Lance initially entered the Arrowverse, she was a broken and traumatized assassin who had forgotten the value of human life. After joining Team Arrow and remembering her old life, Sarah began to evolve. When she passed away and was miraculously resurrected, Sarah became the White Canary. Then she joined the Legends of Tomorrow and grew into a true leader. Although she continues to feel guilty about her past actions, she learned to use her formidable fighting skills for good. More recently, her romance with Ava, the head of the Time Bureau, has given her even more reasons to maintain her status as a hero. We admit, putting Oliver Queen on the midpoint of this list is a controversial take on the Green Arrow. Sure, he was the superhero who started the Arrowverse, and no one's arguing with his considerable superhero skill set. What he can do with his bow and arrow alone is amazing, let alone his strength and fighting ability. Not to mention, he's good at keeping his head in a fight and making sure he knows what he needs to do before jumping in. That's also not to say that he doesn't have a few blind spots. Most recently, his habit of seeing things the way he wants to was demonstrated when he trusted his long-lost sister, Emiko. Emiko got to know Oliver and his team while she was also secretly leading the Ninth Circle, a terrorist organization. Oliver has made his fair share of mistakes and isn't always the leader his team needs him to be. Still, he never stops trying and he always strives to be better. One of Constantine's most impressive superpowers seems to be continuing to show up on TV. His TV series on NBC was cancelled after only just one season. Yet, the character was so beloved that he was brought over to the Arrowverse for several guest spots. To have that kind of staying power, he must truly be a master of the occult. As a member of the Legends, Constantine hasn't lost any of his magic, although he has downplayed it considerably. He seems to have no interest in being viewed as a hero or demonstrating how powerful he is. But that's part of his charm, of course. Nevertheless, with his knowledge of the occult and magical abilities, Constantine is one of the most powerful heroes on the team. Cisco's been a core member of Team Flash since the beginning. At the time, he only had the power of his engineering genius, and honestly, that would have been enough. Then he acquired meta powers of his very own. At first, he was less than thrilled about his new abilities. As he's learned to use them to help the team though, he's discovered that they can be a valuable asset. While his preference is still to stay at Star Labs, he's no longer afraid to vibe when he needs to. Initially, Ralph Dibny's powers were pretty laughable, as was the man himself. A disgraced former cop who became a morally questionable private investigator, no one on Team Flash took him very seriously. Yet, after joining them and growing into his powers, Ralph matured into a hero. As Elongated Man, he's practically invincible. He can stretch and bend in every which way, he can withstand bullets and other weapons. All that makes him incredibly powerful. He may still be new to the whole superhero thing, but he's learned quickly as he becomes an increasingly valued part of the team. Technically, Killer Frost's alter ego is Caitlin Snow, yet Caitlin and Killer Frost are so different that they're really like two personalities occupying the same body. Despite Caitlin's long-term affiliation with Team Flash, when Killer Frost reared her head, she was a deadly villain. Despite the difficult start, she and Caitlin managed to reconcile and have even become allies. Now Killer Frost takes over whenever they need to use her frosty skills in the field and becomes a powerful weapon. If she ever goes bad again, she could prove to be a big threat, but right now, she and Caitlin have developed a sisterly rapport that has made her an honorary member of the team. Brainy is more than just a name for this next superhero, it's a description. Brainy's a 12th level intellect who comes to the present as a member of the Legion from the far future. He's a synthetic alien lifeform and a really big brain, which hasn't always made him the most relatable character. After he stayed behind in the 21st century and learned about our ways, he started to understand our struggles. He's also learned about the prejudices that plague society and has taken a stand against them. In the process, Brainy's become an endearing presence on Supergirl. His intellect and ease with technology are certainly valuable, but we haven't seen him fight much. Still, when he was forced to throw down, he demonstrated some pretty remarkable gravity-defying fighting skills. We hope we get to see him go hand-to-hand with villains more in the future. As the Flash, Barry Allen is practically unbeatable. By harnessing the Speed Force, the Flash isn't just the fastest man alive, he's also got the ability to fight his way out of almost any situation. He also recently learned that even without his powers, he can hold his own. When he and Ralph Dibny went undercover without their powers, he was able to fight with the best of them. Pretty amazing for a guy who's never received any formal combat training, at least as far as we know. The Flash isn't just a powerful speedster though, he's powerful as a leader as well. He always does the right thing and exhibits kindness and compassion, even for his enemies. Barry's combination of meta powers and leadership make him an exemplary superhero. Full strength, the Martian John Johns is one of the Arrowverse's most formidable fighters. Besides super strength and flying, he also has the ability to read minds and shapeshift. Johns has often stayed out of the battle in order to run things behind the scenes. More recently, he's tried to live by his father's peaceful code and refrain from fighting entirely. This has left him underpowered and constrained in just how much he can use his skills. When he decides to suit up though, he's almost unstoppable. Superman is a legendary superhero, but he's also Supergirl's cousin. That familial tie made Superman's presence in the Arrowverse especially noteworthy. As the only two Kryptonians on Earth, Superman and Supergirl have an unmatched set of superpowers. While they typically work in their own separate cities, Superman is always willing to lend a hand when his cousin needs him. That's led to their teaming up on more than one occasion, which is always a welcome surprise. Superman is pretty much everything you could want in a superhero: idealistic, kind, and ready to leap tall buildings to serve the greater good. Coming in at number 1 on our list is Supergirl. Kara is the epitome of a superhero. Not only does she have her suite of Kryptonian powers, but she's also selfless and ready to give her all in any battle. She's so dedicated to her mission that she's even bested Superman in a fight. Kara also has a strong moral compass that has enabled her to consistently do the right thing. Not to mention, she's self-aware, which has allowed her to deal with her feelings about being an alien on Earth. In the end, grappling with her doubts has caused her to become a more fortified and effective hero. Practically invincible in body and soul, Supergirl has the heart of a hero and it shows through everything she does. That's our ranking of the strongest superheroes in the Arrowverse. Did we leave anyone out? Do you agree with our ranking? Have your say in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and let us know. Thanks for watching.